I've known Kate for like nearly 10 years now, I think I've figured out.
I can't remember where we actually first met.
It would have been Jackie Winter. I used to do the digital marketing for Jackie Winter, and Kate, of course, was represented. Are you still represented by them?
No.
Okay.
Now that I work full time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought, I didn't want to, yeah. So obviously, knowing you for so long, it's so lovely to be chatting to you today. I don't know if you could tell, but we're both a little bit nervous. But yeah, so this morning we're speaking about the theme of parallel. And I wanted to ask you, you obviously juggle a lot of projects. You're working on exhibitions and now working full time. With so many projects running in parallel, do you have a preferred way to manage all of these, the creative mental load and everything that you're doing all at once? Or are you not managing? How's it going?
Yes, I'm a mess. No. So nice to chat to you. So, sorry, just get the nerves out. It's so nice to be here. Thank you. So nice to chat with you. And my Jackie Winter family, obviously, and Katie is here, I still love very much. It's just that I transitioned from freelance to full-time. But yes, of course, still love all of the crew there. So management, yeah. I have no management system, and I'm often exhausted. I'm very tired all of the time. So it has taken a lot of introspection and analysing why I'm constantly drawn to doing. There's no intention behind having multiple plates spinning at any one time, but somehow I always end up in this position, and it's not, obviously I enjoy it because otherwise it wouldn't be happening, but I have had to take a step back and ask, why am I doing this and how do I end up in these positions? Because although it's enjoyable, it is also unsustainable in the long term and leads to these just huge peaks and huge troughs, which I'm sure many people are familiar with. And so I've been trying to manufacture maybe a little bit more smooth sailing rather than this massive roller coaster. And of course in freelance, that is unavoidable to an extent because we are at the behest of clients. And no matter how insane your scheduling skills are, it is out of your control. Now with full-time work, that is a little bit different, although I still manage to pile things on. So management, I have no idea except for being more aware and analysing why am I taking this project? And a lot of it previously has been the inability to say no, people pleasing, not wanting to miss out, wanting to feel worthy, so needing to take more on to prove something. So taking all that into account now when taking something on, being okay with not doing something, which feels easy but is not, and weighing up the other things in life that I have to acknowledge that I'm going to sacrifice if I take on whatever it might be.
Yeah, absolutely. So true.
So much nervous giggling throughout this whole thing.
Yeah. Are there any particular projects? I mean, you've been involved in many throughout the years, but are there any particular projects that you've done so far that stand out for you as a defining moment in your career thus far?
I think there's lots and lots of moments. I don't think there's any one particular one, and I think for ages I'm there will be one moment and then that will project this huge change, or I don't know, this real catalyst moment. And I think the truth is there isn't.
Yeah.
There's just lots and lots of tiny little things that eventually lead to where we end up. Of course, there are really important people along the way, and really important relationships that you form, and locker room talk, which we'll probably talk about. And Lou, who I did locker room talk with, which is an exhibition, is here today. And that was like a really, really big moment. So that particularly stands out. But yes, I think the truth is it's just lots and lots of incremental change and like consistently putting in effort.
Yeah. It's not the overnight success that everyone sees. All of a sudden, someone in your eyes that you had no idea about, and all of a sudden they're famous. You're famous, Kate. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Please keep going.
Let's talk about locker room talk. That was a fantastic exhibition that you co-founded with Louise. What inspired you to create that exhibition, and what were some of the challenges that you faced bringing that to life, especially as it was sort of towards the tail end of the pandemic?
Yeah, we really wanted to. So the Locker Room Talk was an exhibition, a group exhibition that platformed women and non-binary artists. It was aimed at taking that phrase locker room talk and all of the negative associations that come with that and flipping it on its head. The aim was to showcase, just really like celebrate these beautiful creatives and try and give them a space to exhibit something that was for them, not for a client, and hopefully make some revenue out of it without kind of hugely disrupting their workflow, because we all understand everyone is super busy. So it's just meant to be like a lovely space to play, hopefully get some money or leads to some jobs without putting a huge stress on them. One of the challenges was it put a huge stress on us. It was an amazing experience, of course, but it was really hard. And I'm looking at Lou now like, oh my, like it was so much work because we had no idea what we were doing for a lot of it, from putting in grants to like curating and then venue and then sponsors. We did everything just the two of us. So it was hugely challenging in really fun ways, but also like both of us really wanted to get it right and we cared a lot about it. Which means you put in a lot of effort, but it was, I think it was a lot. And we're both, I would say, maybe like dreamers, like on that side of things. So our ideas just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then we're like, oh God, how do we deliver on this? But I'm really, really happy with the result. And shout out to Lou's dad, Pug, because he allowed us to build stuff in his garage and helped us build. We built a pop-up bathroom, and I don't know if that would have happened without him because we had no idea what we were doing. Was that the question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Any challenges that you faced?
With COVID?
With COVID, yeah.
Yes, we had to reschedule a couple of times, and that was a nightmare. Just having to, like, it was just a constant problem-solving exercise because everything obviously has a ripple-on effect. Thankfully, like, we didn't have to change the venue or anything, and they were really, no vacancy gallery, they were really lovely to work with, and Matt was who we worked with there. But yes, it's just like a constant reshuffling, every single time.
So our audience today knows you as a brilliant illustrator and letterer, but something that they might not know is that you spent 7 years at Kingston City Council as a library officer. So we would like to know, what are the most surprising or quirky things that happen behind the scenes in public library?
It is a very interesting place to work. And there's a lot of interesting people, both behind the desk and attending the library. I loved my time there. I love libraries, and I think I loved them before. My nan used to work in a library, and was an English teacher. I have a lot of positive associations. It's a beautiful place to work, and I love that it's one of the last last few spaces, community spaces where people can come and hang out without having to buy anything. So it's really important. But yeah, I was trying to think about quirky things that happened. Over the pandemic, I was on the phones. So I was working from home but answering calls. And a man called me multiple times for me to look up his rental property in WA to see what the rate was because he couldn't access it from his end. I don't know what was going on.
Like how much he was paying in rent?
Yeah, or how much it was being advertised, like how much you had to pay to rent this place in Perth. And like, we're a community service, so I'm like, okay, what's the website? Like, where's the property? Oh, that looks very nice. And he called up like multiple times. So there's a lot of interesting requests, and you just kind of go with it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Very important resource. Everyone get out to your local library. Do you feel like your work in libraries like had an influence on moving towards lettering? I don't know. Looking at the book covers?
No.
There was a connection there.
I totally see the connection. Libraries kind of came afterwards, but it's because I was drawn to libraries because I love storytelling and all that kind of stuff. So yes, I think it is absolutely all connected. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Good question.
Great question.
So last year you transitioned into the coveted role of art director at Frankie Magazine. What inspired your decision to take on this position? And did you find moving from a long-term freelance career to a full-time role with Frankie a big adjustment? Or did you find it a welcome change? How are you feeling about it?
Yeah. Overall, good.
Excellent.
But yeah, it was, I don't know, it wasn't a drastic move. I had been wanting to do more art direction. I'd done it like bits and pieces, like with Locker Room Talk, like with personal projects, but I had never held an art director role. At the beginning of last year, I applied for award school, which had been on my list for a little bit. I actually had gone to the info night 10 years prior while I was at uni, and I got so intimidated at the info night. I was like, I can't do this. And I was kind of put off by the stereotype that was presented about advertising. Anyway, I went back and did it, applied last year, and thankfully got in. So this was all before Frankie. It's a 3-month course. You kind of choose as you're going, art direction or copywriting. That's kind of what award school is directed at. And people say, like, if you want to work in advertising, they'll ask if you've done award school, and you just get a brief every week. And at the end, you present your folio with these 10 different briefs, and each brief focuses on a different medium, whether it be radio, like outdoor advertising, or PR. So that was already in the works, and I absolutely loved it. It was hugely challenging, but it was so good, and it was so nice to go back and play in a space where, like, you didn't actually have to worry about budgets, or like, because you didn't have to deliver anything. It was purely ideas, which is like my favorite place to play. It was just like all blue sky thinking, no details. It was amazing. So that really cemented like how much I love that kind of like idea generation part of a project. And I was like finishing that, and then this job just happened to pop up, and I was like, seems like great timing, why not? And thankfully I got it. I was submitting my award school folio during my first week of Frankie.
Wow.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was so bad. I'd work 9 till 5 and then get home and work like 7 till 2. And then like it was too much. But it was just weird timing, and it was all things that I wanted, and it worked out great. But yes, moving then to full-time work was a big adjustment, and it sparked an existential crisis when I took the job, obviously, because why wouldn't it? Yeah. Like, who am I if I'm not a freelancer anymore? Like, am I selling out? What does this mean? All of the questions. Plus the very like practical things of like, I can't lie on the floor in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
I can't talk out loud to myself at my desk anymore. Like I can't, play with my dog for a half an hour. So all of those things, just being around people, as you can see, not usually adept at that. So yes, there was an adjustment period. I was quite nervous, but I knew that I definitely wanted to give it a try. And hopefully, obviously, it is obvious. I do really love it there, and it's awesome. Is that the question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? I've got an add-on. What do you feel like? Because I'm a full-time freelancer, so I fully appreciate like the freedom that gives you. But I think there's 100% benefits to working full-time. So what is it that moving over to full-time work has given you that you couldn't get from a freelance career?
Yeah, totally. And I was craving like some more structure and routine. Because I'm not very good at implementing that for myself. So that's great. And I have weekends.
Yes.
Like it's been really nice to switch off. Like I didn't think it would be possible. And there are obviously sometimes when you're just working around the clock because you have a tight deadline, but it's not all the time. And on weekends, I have weekends. And that's obviously sparked another crisis of like, who am I? What do I do with my time when I'm not working? Give me a scenario and I will find like how to be anxious about it. But so that was like a little bit confronting, but obviously a great problem to have. So yes, time maybe and separation between work and self a little bit.
Yeah. Great. So part of your role at Frankie is curating creative talent. That's a key part of your role. And with such a vast network of creatives, you must have plenty to choose from. Do you enjoy the process of discovering new talent? And what advice would you give to creatives who are eager to be featured in the magazine?
Yes, I love this part of the job so much. It's really wonderful. I'm just like, how many of my friends can I put in the magazine? Which is great. It's so nice, as you said, discovering new talent. And I do really try and choose people who I think would be right for this specific job. And it's really nice, like getting an email at the end of the brief going from the artist, the contributor, saying this was really, really joyful to work on. And that's like peak. That's what I hope for. Because we don't have huge contributor budgets, but everyone, the majority of people who I approach are really excited to work for Frankie, and that's testament to the teams that have come before me that have built this beautiful magazine and reputation and just environment around the title. So that's amazing. It's a lovely place to be. Tips would be passion projects are key. Everyone always says this, but I do believe it to be true because, again, it just allows me to, like, if we've had articles recently about food and people who draw about food are really passionate about food, like, I will go to you because I want you to care about what you're drawing. I want it to be enjoyable for you. So if I know what you like, then it's going to help me. And then I think the other one is just there's often not a lot of time. So I don't have time to go through heaps of folios and websites as much as I would like to. So it's become clear how necessary it is for people just to, this is what I do here. And like it's like it can just be easily carried from here and put here, which I know can be challenging, but purely from like a time perspective, and then trying to sell it to perhaps like the editor or like other people in the magazine who aren't as visually like based, they need to be able to know, okay, this is what we're getting. That's like really, really helpful.
So you've spent your entire life in Melbourne, growing up in the Mornington Peninsula. and eventually settling in inner Melbourne. How have you seen the city and the creative industry in your time evolve over the years, and what changes would you or challenges have stood out to you?
I love that it's starting to move a little bit outside of Northside. I know that we're in Brunswick right now, very trendy, very cool. But it's nice to see it expanding a little bit, that it's not as, I don't know, that people from like Mornington or Geelong or whatever can also be creative, which seems, of course, but I don't know if it's always felt that way.
Yeah.
And how the design, I mean, Melbourne's always had such a rich creative community, which is amazing. I'm a little bit out of the loop, I feel like, maybe, in terms of like events and things. I used to be very involved, and I don't know if there's less going on or if I'm just like not as tapped in. Yeah. But still, the community is like super vibrant. People are awesome. And lots of like cross collaboration, which is really, really nice from like different industries.
Do you feel like the event spaces dwindled?
I think
like post-pandemic, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, surely that had an impact for sure.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's totally bounced back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, like, it is challenging working, like, how to be around people again. Like,
yes.
I know that I've joked about this the whole time, but it is a challenge.
Yeah.
For some of us.
Yeah, and absolutely.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know. I just, like...
I don't know. Do you think it's changed?
Definitely. I feel like the amount of like exhibitions and events and things that I would be hitting up, and maybe it's also just an age thing, is that we are like in our mid-30s and we're like, I don't need to do that anymore. I'd rather stay at home with my pets. But the urge to go out and like meet new people and I don't know.
Yeah, totally. And I think the desire is still there.
Yes.
But the energy is not as there.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool.
Cool.
Well, so something that we were talking about just before we came on was social media and being on it, or maybe not being on it so much. And when you're balancing the demands of maintaining an online presence and both a business and a personal brand, like how do you find the balance between those things, and how are you managing it?
There is no management at the moment because I am so overwhelmed. I used to lean in so hard and be very, very present, and now I have a lot of anxiety about posting. It does not bring me any joy. I love connecting with people, and I've met some really, really beautiful friends over Instagram, and I love that. I hate Meta. I hate Elon Musk. I hate Mark Zuckerberg. I don't want to be involved in this platform, and I don't know how to get off it. I hate being reliant on a company that can chooses how my work is going to be displayed. You're just giving so much power to someone else. And I know there's people leaving at the moment for other platforms, and has anyone left Instagram? Yeah.
I was forced out. I got out.
No.
Oh.
So yeah, so when we talk about personal branding, my whole personal brand is non-existent. So, but now I'm kind of like, I don't want to go back. So it's really, they're the worst. Like even just connecting and trying to get my account back, they're just So now I'm like,
Kind of freeing.
kind of free in a weird way.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. I'm sorry that happened though. That you will battle on. But yeah, it feels like a necessary evil.
Well, okay, can we dig into this a little bit deeper? So obviously when you were starting out with lettering, the social media space in general, Instagram, Facebook, even Tumblr, Pinterest, they were like popping off. So being able to have your work seen and being exposed to the powers that be in the creative world, it's like so much easier back then than it is today, purely because of the restraints that Meta and all of these other platforms are putting in place to monetize their platforms. So what has your experience been in like watching these platforms become a space for creativity like diminish? Sorry, did that make sense? And also, do you have any like recommendations or ideas of like how people could, challenge that today?
Yeah. No, the time of the Valencia filter was a much simpler time. And like, even though I just like railed against Instagram, it was like a big, like back 2013, 14 was like such a, it did play a big part in me becoming more well known. And like, it sucks, right? Like, cause you have followers. So people think like, I really, really struggle with it. And there's no reason for me to be up here except that I just like posted a lot at a time when that was helpful and was popping off.
That's not the only reason why you're up here, but sure.
It does feel like that sometimes. So it used to be, really organic, lovely, and just obviously very much less saturated than it is now. So it is really hard to break through. I would love some suggestions from people. I don't know how to tackle this. I know that's a big
weight to put on your shoulders.
I mean, and I haven't done the research of like, like should like Substack or like, like Patreon, or should I be doing these other things? I don't know. It's very exhausting. So I would love to chat more about this because it does feel a little like it's heavy on my heart.
And especially as an art director now, like you're on the other side of that. So conversely, like trying to find talent. And I mean, I know you've said that you don't have enough time and obviously people are coming to you and pitching to you, but
I still go to Instagram. Like I'm still going there to find. Yeah. And it because I also want to find like maybe not the polished projects, but I want to find the sketchbook, that side of things. So I feel like I am kind of stuck in this loop and I'm not sure how to break out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so we've spoken about the digital side of things, but I'd love to also speak about analog mediums. And your recent solo exhibition, Grounding, you showcased woodcut artworks inspired by your digital illustrations. And have you found that your skills and vision have evolved with the change in medium and technology? And did you enjoy the collision of these mediums, or do you find yourself gravitating, more towards analog, digital? What the balance between those? Yeah.
Yeah, no, totally. Both.
Yeah.
I want both. But I think because variety is like key for me. So like I love the Tetris of like finding a beautiful layout for a magazine, like moving pixels around. And then I love like learning how to use a circular saw and making a coffee table. Both are like problem solving. I love getting away from the screen. I love like holding something tangible, building something. The grounding exhibition that you referred to was, I drew the works digitally and then they were laser cut out of wood, and then I like pulled everything apart, hand painted them and then put them together, which was like a hugely laborious process. And my mum helped me in part of the process. She's like, why do you do this? And I'm like, I don't know. But there is like real like peace and beauty in this, like all of the thinking and the planning is done. You're just with the pieces and you're just putting them together, and that like it's a beautiful flow state. So having a mix of both is just such a delight. Yeah.
But if you had to pick.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. So we've spoken a little bit about the different projects that you've undertaken of a collaborative nature. Is there a particular brand or business that you haven't worked with yet, that you'd love to collaborate with in the future, and or do you have a dream project that you're yet to tackle that's in there?
I find these questions so difficult.
Yeah.
But I was thinking like I would love to work with Mecca at some point. I feel like it's like, what does this say about me as a person? What brand am I going to say? But obviously visually they're awesome, but also I love the customer experience side of things.
Yep.
Like I just think they absolutely nail it. And I really love that side of things. Like how is a person moving through a space? How is a person experiencing, whether it's a magazine or a store or a product? I love that. And I would love to work on set design or in an art department for like a TV show or a stage production.
Dream job.
That would be sick. Especially Aussie. I just have such a love for Aussie, both screen and stage productions. And then advertising, like I would still love, because obviously I went from award school and I'm an art director in a magazine. That's very different from an art director in a advertising agency, which is much more about the idea, the why, not necessarily visually how it looks.
Yeah.
That's part of it, but it's much more about like, why are we doing these things? And so to work with someone like Ant Keogh from like The Monkeys or Micah Walker from, now I always get Bear Meets Eagle on Fire, amazing agency, like to learn from someone like them would be awesome. So who knows? Multiple options.
Yeah.
Hit me up. Anyone of those fields.
Awesome. Okay, I've got some rapid fire questions for you. North side or south side?
South side.
Okay.
Sorry.
Interesting. Messy desk or tidy workspace?
Tidy.
That surprised me. I don't know.
It's often messy, but my preference is tidy. Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah. Favorite color?
Blue.
Are dogs superior to people?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you listen to music, a podcast, or silence while you work?
A mix.
A
mix of all three. I hate silence, but it's the procrastination of choosing what to put on that leads to hours of actually nothing on.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are you listening to at the moment?
Every single Prestige TV podcast on every White Lotus episode.
Yes.
Both Monday's episode with Joe, Mallory and Bill, and then they do a deep dive with Joe and Rob on a Wednesday.
I need to get into
behind it. Amazing.
Do you think he spit out the pill or not?
Oh, wait.
Saxon.
No. Oh.
I've seen little clips where in the background you can see him going. Terrifying.
Interesting. I don't want
to think about it any further.
Yeah, digest this.
Okay, what's your go-to creative ritual to get inspired?
No go-to, but be creative in ways that aren't work. Whether that's like building something or exhibition or fashion or dance or go see a play or something. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Filling the cup.
Yeah, exactly.
And what's your go-to snack when you're in creative mode?
Chocolate.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I've just realised that we should hand over to you guys to ask some questions. So I'm sure that there are many of you who have some questions for Kate. If you just raise your hand. Anyone? Yeah, over here.
Do you have any recommendations for illustrators who are currently in the process of looking for an agent? Like anything to look out for, keep in mind when finding the right one?
Great question. And if anyone didn't hear, it was tips for illustrators looking for an agent. I guess finding the it's a numbers game, so that's definitely part of it. Maybe looking at agencies, you want to be doing work that you want to be doing, so maybe being selective about who you approach, and then tailoring your approach to them. I think blanket emails or blanket folios even, it's much appreciated if it's tailored. You don't have to create whole new work for every person, but choose. Be selective about, and less is more. You don't need to put everything in, but if you've got like a handful of like projects that really hit their sweet spot, I think that's not particularly enlightening, but I do find that is helpful. Yeah. And yeah, numbers game, check-ins, like people forget, so feel free to follow up. Like people have followed up with me and it is helpful because it's not a deliberate brush aside, it's just I've forgotten or the time is,
Also, sorry, if I can just jump onto that. Having worked at Jackie Winter on the inside for a little while, I've seen artists who were contacting them back when I was working for them, now being represented by them. So I think it's also just like a matter of like not hassling them, but like believing in your work and continuing on and understanding that sometimes it just takes time for the world to be ready for your work. Or for the space to open up in that roster.
Because it's not necessarily are you a good or a bad artist. It's like what do we have in the current roster and like what gaps do we need to fill? Yeah. And also maybe asking the question as well, like is an agent right for me? You know, that's not necessarily for everyone. Yeah.
Anyone else? Yes, at the back.
As in, am I looking for... Sorry.
Do you specifically kind of choose a roster of artists that just have one style that you know they're going to do that kind of thing, or other artists in your sort of catalogue who would be like, oh, they can do this kind of thing that I want?
Sure. Yeah. I guess for the most part, you are going to someone for a particular thing. So you want to know that they can do that thing, like, because you want it for that. Like, I'm going to the artist for that style. Like, I guess the beauty of Frankie is, yes, we absolutely have an aesthetic, but the illustration style and the photography style often changes. So there is variety there. However, sometimes we'll have a feature of, for example, 4 artists are asked to illustrate their bathroom cupboards. And so, or the last one we had, which will be in the issue that's about to come out, is like, what's in your grocery basket? So the requirement was I would like a grocery basket in there, but otherwise I want to see what you create. So I know roughly what they do, and I'm familiar with their work, but the parameters are wide. Does that kind of answer? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, there we go. I delivered.
Okay, yes, at the back.
Based on that, did you find your the way you kind of solidify ideas through rewards when you were able to use that in Frankie when you were doing illustrators, or kind of get across?
100%.
Advertising skills you've learned, you're actually putting to use throughout Frankie?
Totally. Yes, I found it so helpful and so transferable because when it comes down to it, it's just like I was saying before, it's about like, why are we doing this? What is the purpose? How do we want people to experience this article? What do we want for people to get out of it? So I think stripping it back, and it's not just about how it looks, like there's so much thought that goes into it before that. Absolutely. I found it so helpful. And not just, we're a very, very small team. There's only 3 full-timers on Frankie, and a bunch of wonderful part-timers. But so we have a lot of say in like how we're communicating with our audience, and that's not just the magazine itself. So I've also found it helpful and super enjoyable to think about how we're connecting with our audience, not just through the actual pages of the magazine.
Yeah. We've got, yep, this.
I think that the Frankie brand has been kind of delightfully human, and how are you stewarding that in a time of AI?
Yeah, great question. And I'm so glad that that's how it comes across. I think in a lot of I think Frankie is like delightfully imperfect. Like there's one of the things that people love about it and we try to foster is like authenticity, and that means like having, you can really see the hand that creates the work in the magazine. So I'm very, very aware of that. And of course, like all of the work is created by humans, just make that clear, from start to finish. And so, yes, so I'm very aware of wanting that to, maybe that's not deliberately, but subconsciously heightened in the work that I'm choosing as well, to make sure that that feeling is really present.
Awesome. I think we might wrap up there because I lost track of time a little bit. But we have the space until 9:30. So please stick around and come and say hi to Kate and to me if you want. And is there anything else that you need to add?
Thank you so much for having me.